They say when a woman changes her hair, she's changing her life. And Nicole Kidman just proved it. After nearly 2 decades of marriage, Nicole stepped into Paris Fashion Week not as half of a Hollywood power couple, but as a woman reborn. Her first public appearance since the shocking split from Keith Urban wasn't just another red carpet moment, it was a statement. With her freshly cut breakup bangs grazing her eyes and an effortlessly chic Chanel look, Nicole wasn't hiding heartbreak. She was reclaiming her narrative. The cameras flashed, whispers filled the room, and everyone knew it. This wasn't the same Nicole Kidman we'd seen before. Gone was the soft-spoken actress shadowed by her love life. What walked into that Chanel show was confidence, control, and quiet defiance wrapped in designer denim and silk. And as she smiled, holding hands with her 2 daughters by her side, one thing became clear. This was more than a fashion debut. It was the beginning of Nicole Kidman's reinvention. Paris became the stage for Nicole Kidman's quiet but powerful comeback. On October 6th, she arrived at Chanel's runway show during Paris Fashion Week, her first major public appearance since the world learned about her split from Keith Urban. And instead of hiding behind oversized sunglasses or ducking away from the cameras, Nicole faced the flashbulbs head-on, radiating a kind of calm confidence that said, "I'm doing just fine." Her look was a masterclass in effortless elegance. A crisp white button-down tucked into perfectly fitted jeans, paired with a cascade of soft waves framing her new breakup bangs. It wasn't loud or overdone, it was intentional. Simple, classic, yet impossible to ignore. Those bangs instantly became a symbol, the quiet rebellion of a woman rewriting her story. And while most stars would have used the moment for damage control or silence, Nicole flipped the narrative completely. She didn't need a press statement or an emotional post, her appearance said it all. Every step she took through that Chanel venue carried the unspoken message of strength, resilience, and renewal. But Paris wasn't just about fashion for Nicole this time, it was about family too. When Nicole Kidman arrived at the Chanel show, she wasn't alone. And that's what made the moment even more powerful. Flanked by her 2 daughters, Sunday Rose, 17, and Faith Margaret, 14, Nicole turned what could have been a lonely debut into a symbol of unity. The trio looked effortlessly in sync, casual, calm, and completely grounded. Gone were the flashy red carpet theatrics. Instead, there was warmth, closeness, and quiet strength. Nicole's choice to bring her daughters wasn't just a family outing, it was a statement. Just days earlier, reports revealed she'd requested to be the primary residential parent in her divorce filing. And now, here she was, hand in hand with her girls, showing the world exactly where her heart truly lies. Both Sunday and Faith mirrored their mum's low-key style, proving that confidence doesn't need couture. Even Nicole's niece, Lucia Hawley, joined them, adding to the image of a family holding each other up in a time of change. It wasn't about glamour, it was about grounding. Fans online couldn't help but notice the emotion in those candid shots. A mother smiling through heartbreak, her daughters beside her like pillars of support. It was raw, real, and relatable. But while the world was moved by this rare family moment, Nicole's next move would shift the focus from her personal life to her power, in fashion and beyond. Nicole Kidman's Chanel appearance wasn't just another celebrity sighting, it was a career power move timed with near-perfect precision. Just days after filing for divorce, the Oscar-winning actress was officially unveiled as Chanel's newest global ambassador, and the timing didn't go unnoticed. For Nicole, aligning herself with one of the most iconic fashion houses in the world wasn't just about beauty, it was about rebirth. In a heartfelt statement, she praised Chanel's creative legacy, calling the brand ahead of the curve and celebrating its history of empowering women. But the subtext was clear. Nicole was stepping into her own version of that legacy. Elegance with independence. Industry insiders immediately recognized the brilliance behind the move. After all, when one chapter ends in a public breakup, most stars retreat into silence. Nicole did the opposite. She walked into the most photographed event of the season as the face of high fashion. No heartbreak statement, no PR pity tour. Just poise, presence, and Chanel. Fans called it her soft revenge era. Not through words, but through grace and strategy. Because when Nicole Kidman chooses to reinvent herself, she doesn't do it quietly, she does it in couture. And yet, while the fashion world celebrated her return, whispers about what really led to the end of her marriage were only just beginning. Behind the glitz of Paris and the glamour of Chanel lies a story far more personal, the unravelling of one of Hollywood's most admired marriages. After nearly 19 years together, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's love story came to a quiet but painful end. Reports confirmed that Nicole filed for divorce on September 30th. marking the close of a relationship that many believed would last forever. But according to insiders, the split wasn't sudden. Sources told TMZ that the two had been living apart for months, long before the news broke. Keith had reportedly set up his own place earlier in the summer, while Nicole stayed in Nashville with their daughters. To those close to the couple, it felt like the writing was on the wall. Behind the scenes, Nicole had been fighting for the marriage. Friends revealed she didn't want this and had hoped to save what they built. Yet distance and diverging lifestyles took their toll. While Keith was on tour, Nicole was anchoring their family life, balancing motherhood, filming commitments, and emotional strain. The couple's last public appearance together was at a FIFA Club World Cup match in June, just days before what would have been their 19th anniversary. And even then, fans noticed a subtle tension that now feels impossible to ignore. It's a heartbreaking picture, a love story that began with passion and music, now ending with silence and separation. But if you know Nicole Kidman's history, you know she's no stranger to rising from heartbreak stronger than before. And as whispers of her private pain began to circulate, Nicole was quietly finding strength in the one place that's never let her down, her family. In the midst of heartbreak, Nicole Kidman did what she's always done best. She carried herself with quiet grace. While headlines dissected her split from Keith Urban, Nicole chose not to lash out, not to explain, not to justify. Instead, she disappeared from the spotlight for a moment, surrounding herself with the people who matter most: her daughters, Sunday and Faith, and her rock-solid sister, Antonia. Sources close to the family say Nicole and her girls have been inseparable all summer, finding peace in the simple things: long walks, family dinners, and quiet nights away from the chaos. Insiders described it as a healing bubble, one that helped Nicole stay grounded as her marriage crumbled behind the scenes. Fans online couldn't help but draw parallels to her past, the resilience she showed after her very public split from Tom Cruise decades ago. Back then, she rebuilt her life and career with a calm dignity that made Hollywood fall in love with her all over again. And now she's doing it again, this time as a mother, guiding her daughters through the same storm she's weathering herself. What stands out most is how Nicole never let pain become performance. Even during her first red carpet appearances, after the news broke, she smiled softly, greeted photographers, and moved with the same poise she's known for. No drama, no spectacle. Just a woman quietly reminding the world that grace can be its own kind of power. But as she stepped back into the public eye, one thing became clear. Nicole wasn't just surviving the breakup. She was transforming it into a statement of independence. And the best way she chose to express that? Through fashion. For Nicole Kidman, fashion has never been just about fabric. It's always been about storytelling. And lately, every look she's worn seems to carry a deeper message. At the Amphiar Dallas Gala, just days before her Chanel debut, Nicole stunned in a black velvet gown with a daring sweetheart neckline. Classic, powerful, and unapologetically feminine. But then in Paris, she flipped the script completely. Out went the dramatic glamour. In came the effortless cool. A white button-down, blue jeans, minimal makeup, and those now iconic breakup bangs. It was a deliberate contrast. A visual declaration that she's done performing perfection. This wasn't the image of a heartbroken woman hiding behind couture. It was a woman reclaiming her identity, one outfit at a time. In the world of celebrity fashion, few statements are louder than subtlety. And Nicole's understated Chanel look spoke volumes. Fashion critics called it a rebirth in real time. Social media lit up with fans praising her transformation, saying things like, "This is Nicole in her freedom era." And in many ways, it was. After years of being defined by her relationships, Nicole was now defining herself through quiet confidence. No words needed. Even Chanel's appointment seemed symbolic. A house built on female independence and timeless reinvention. The perfect match for a woman stepping out of one life and into another. Whether it was coincidence or calculated timing, it worked flawlessly. Because sometimes, the boldest thing a woman can do after heartbreak isn't to cry out. It's to show up looking stronger than ever. And with every click of a camera shutter in Paris, Nicole Kidman reminded the world she's not broken. She's becoming something entirely new. But as fans continue to celebrate her reinvention, the question lingers. Is this just the beginning of Nicole's next great act? This isn't the first time Nicole Kidman has had to rebuild her life. But this time it feels different. Stronger, sharper, freer. What we're seeing now isn't just a comeback, it's a transformation. Nicole Kidman 2.0 isn't defined by heartbreak or headlines. She's defined by how she handles them. In the face of public scrutiny and private pain, she didn't retreat or retaliate. She chose reinvention. She chose elegance. She chose herself. From the quiet confidence of her Chanel debut to the steady love she shares with her daughters, Nicole is writing a new kind of Hollywood story. One that isn't about scandal or survival, but evolution. Fans online have already crowned this her grace era, where every move feels intentional, every silence powerful. Because Nicole's never needed to shout to be heard, she simply lives and the world listens. Maybe that's the real lesson here. Sometimes strength doesn't roar. Sometimes it walks into a Paris runway show, smiles for the cameras, and lets the world wonder what comes next. So as Nicole steps into this new chapter, balancing career, motherhood, and a renewed sense of self, one question remains. Is this the end of a love story? Or the start of the most empowered version of Nicole Kidman we've ever seen?